evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the start of a brand new season. It's West Coast Sim Racing's Porsche Cup. Season 3 gets underway tonight at the legendary Daytona International Speedway road course. Drivers roll into one of the most iconic and demanding circuits in all of motorsports, this World Center of Racing. It's a unique blend of high-speed oval banking and tight technical infield sections, forcing these drivers to balance outright speed with precision through each and every corner. Welcome in, everybody. It's Sean Sam live here on Sam Studio Network, and qualifying just now finishing up a 15-minute open qualifying session. The race will run 45 minutes long, as well as that competition caution around 20 minutes down. That will bring the field all back together, reset the strategies, and likely set up a short sprintish to the white and checkered flag. Before we get out there, though, we'll take a look at our starting grid through the first 20 minutes of the race. Brendan Myers slaps it up on the pole. Very fast in practice was Brendan. We know that he's got pace from the World Center of Racing, 23 pole position. Edwin Onofre starts P2 after, hey, how about, let's hear it out there in YouTube land for Edwin, new driver with us this season. The 199 shows pace, slaps it out there on the starting position of the outside row. Nathaniel Redmond, if not the fastest driver in practice, he'll start P3. He's back for another season of racing with us, Season 3 West Coast Sim Racing. Josh Hunter, Jacob Othard-Lim, Mitch Crowther, that's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Mitch coming out of Skidmark Sim Racing, as well as we'll have to get to Mitch here in just a few moments' time. Sergio Orestes, Connor Cunningham, Zach Severe, Andreas Mofana, Alex Andrea, as well as Derek Johnson rounding at the top 12. Dylan Lee starts P13. Miles Guerrero, he's back racing with us this season, starts P14 in the number 26 Porsche Cup car. Colton Juarez, B15. George Lawrence, B16. It's our league owner, Warren Johnson, who starts B17. Joe Rainey, qualifying effort will set him out to B18. Lewis Holloway, 19th, and Igor Reitzkov starting B20. So real quick, before we get into racing action tonight, we have to thank these drivers out here about to put on a whole nother 45-minute sprint here for us, as well as a whole nother race season.
Cold tires all around. The strength of field is 2,045 minutes.
We also have those sponsors and affiliates up in the top right of the screen. Sam Studio Network could not be bringing you the coverage out here. And talking about Mitch Crowther, newer sponsor with us out of Mittens Liveries. Make sure you hit up Mitch. He's got some of the best, if not the best, iRacing paint jobs available, custom paint jobs out there as well. There you see Mitch Crowther is starting P6 in that 073 Mittens Livery paint job. And something that's cool about it, he's got those sunglasses spec maps, so even in the underneath the lights out here from the World Center of Racing, you can still see his logo, which has the sunglasses on. It's sparkling out there, showing these lights shimmering come into life. Speaking of coming into life, ladies and gentlemen, we're just out of NASCAR turns 3 and 4 before we get into some live racing action. This is going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Stam Studio Network, Sean Stam, producing, directing, commentating the show. It is a 11-turn, 3.5-mile road course. We're going to start racing this lap. We're going to start this Season 3 of West Coast Sim Racing Porsche Cup. This time by Edwin Onofre. Brendan Myers, front row, belong to them in the 199 and the 23. Josh Hunter, Nathaniel Redmond, that's row 2. Jacob Lethard-Lim, as well as Mitch Crowther and Nathaniel Redmond, row 3. Here we go. Green flag is out for West Coast Sim Racing Season 3. Porsche Cup is down and going. This is an orange flag start to the race, so points penalties are good to a max out here within the start of the race. Whoa, there you see already Josh Hunter, who bouncies his way down and through ahead this time into turns 2, 3, and 4 for the first time. Nathaniel Redmond, also nice start to the race for him. He runs P4. Jacob Lethard-Lim, P5. Mitch Crowther, nice start to the race for him as well through the orange flag zone. He continues to run P6. Start to the race still belongs up there to Brendan Myers, Edwin Onofre, and Josh Hunter. That's the first 3. That's a nice move there into the inside 4 position. I think that's the 127. Is it the 127 of Jacob Leothard? Hopefully I'm not butchering the name there too much. He is going to compromise one spot there within the quarter inches into NASCAR. Turn one for the first time. Jacob, he's now gained that spot, backing up and into P4. Zach Severe, also nice start to the race. 3 spots into the green. Just the start lights have one out for Zach Severe. Mitch Crowther, he sits right behind him, who did start P6. Now continues to run P7 for Crowther. First time into the Le Mans chicane bus stop. Brandon Myers, Edwin Onofre, Josh Hunter. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, hang on to it, Jacob. He gets right side, if not three tires of these Michelin tires up off that Porsche Cup car, off the racetrack there. There you see that slow down penalty for Josh Hunter, as Josh had to take that evasive action, has to give the time back. That's why you see that burnt orange Porsche Cup car continuing to lose 1, 2, 3 positions. Now working our way back into the trial, which we can beat lap number 1. Now here comes the battles. Jacob backing around the outside line. He's still got Nathaniel Redmond down into the inside, side by side into turn 1 for lap 2 of the race. Jacob has to run a little bit wider. Nathaniel Redmond, one of our fastest drivers, if not the fastest driver in practice, up and into P3. Now these are the newer Porsche Cup cars that are released within the iRacing simulation universe, and we have already seen that play its differences here tonight. I mean, look at Zach Severe moving his way towards the front. Is that the Iron Dames? It is the Iron Dames. Got a graffiti paint job out there for him. The 714 working rock and rolling his way towards the front of the pack. He's almost getting contact out there. There is contact out there with the number 2 right there underneath cameraman Billy Bob Joe. It's Dylan Lee. Connor Cunningham is involved as well. He's around in his Patagonia Porsche Cup car. Looks like Andreas Profana, he'll make it through cleanly there, as we still have some battles out there between Warren Johnson and George Lawrence. Warren's going to give the point by to George Lawrence. George, he joined this race there within, within the last hour to go. How about it? Let's hear it for George Lawrence out there, YouTube land as well. Nice start to the race, 2 spots gained to the drop of the green, but he's got the league owner all over his rear bumper. I would imagine that you have to feel that within the cockpit of that Porsche Cup car. You have Warren Johnson all over reaching down his rear bumper up there as Warren Johnson happened to Connor Cunningham as well as Dylan Lee, Andreas Profana as well. There's Connor Cunningham's incident. That was just a self-spin, so that was separate from there. You see Andreas Profana, who's already around. And I unfortunately do think we will have to get the forklift driver out here with us tonight, and so we can really back this one up and see. There's the contact between Andreas Profana. Is that the Mobile 1? I think that is the Mobile 1 oil of the number 71. Excuse me, 77 may have been. No, Colton Wars, he makes his way through it. Apologies here. It's a newer season. I'm still working out these race numbers. As you see, Dylan Lee also involved as well. We're gonna hop on board here with Dylan Lee and see what he saw going into the horseshoe. Whoa, hang on to it. He's loose the kink out there. And then there's the contact up in front of him with Profana. He just has nowhere to go. Spins him down and around. Jumping back on board with this battle for the race lead, going into the Le Mans chicane for the 3rd time tonight, coming to complete lap 3, headed towards lap number 4. And backing onto these onboard camera shots, you see Brennan Myers back and onto the throttle pedal. He finds himself, but not so fast, my friend, says Edwin Onofre. Edwin, I apologize if I am butchering the last name there, but his Rexy kind of T-Rex paint job still continues to really close that gap for the race lead. Edwin is not only closed the gap for the race lead, but as well as we saw on that onboard camera shot out of the Le Mans chicane, Brandon Myers had his left side tires up and into the air, then the right side tires up and into the air. Now Edwin's going to go way wide at turn number 1. That's actually within one of the most recent updates to the track before the Daytona 24-hour race. Edwin now runs that kind of eSports racing line off of turn number 1. That's going to warrant a slow down penalty as you see in the top left of your screen, that yellow flag has now cleared itself. But as Edwin was all over that rear bumper of our race leader, Brendan Myers, he's now had to give all of that time back. Now 1.2 seconds back is Edwin. Another nice close battle up here between not only Brendan Myers, Edwin, as well as Nathaniel Redmond, 1, 2, 3, but now we're looking at 4th, 5th, and 6th. Zach Severe, Jacob Luthlin Lim, as well as Josh Hunter. I know I'm butchering Jacob's name. That's a newer driver racing with us this season. Jacob, we appreciate you coming out here racing with us. Thankfully, you won't have the butchers for too long here, as I do believe that I am only broadcasting the race 1 of Season 3 of this Porsche Cup season, and it should go back and into other broadcasting channels out there throughout every Monday and Thursday night. There you see Josh Hunter. He tried to maybe almost look down into the lost chicane, not close enough to make something happen. We'll now hop on board with Josh Hunter. But back to that conversation of every Monday and Thursday night, you're joining in on West Coast Sim Racing. And we'll be broadcasting other places, but I will be joining you down there on track on Monday night. Just finished up at Sebring International Raceway with the Toyota 206 Cup cars. So much fun. Battles up, down, and around town. You're seeing some up battles up, down, and up town here going into turn 1, down and off of the NASCAR banking. That's Josh Hunter and Mitch Crowther. Remember, we mentioned Mitch Crowther's earlier name here tonight. He's out of Mittens Liveries. Not only completely makes up and complete as an artist of himself out there with the designing paint liveries out there with the iRacing simulation years. But Mitch Crowther out of Skidmark Sim Racing, we have seen him between a few different leagues that I do broadcast for. He continues to show some nice speed, some nice pace, as well as, might I add, it's really that closing race pace on the on kind of the closing laps of the race. So Mitch Crowther, although we do see him continuing to run P7, which is a nice start to the race, don't get me wrong, continuing to run back and bounce. Oh man, there goes Josh. Josh Hunter, he was begging for life out there. That thing twitched and a half in the number 81 Porsche Cup car. Thankfully, Josh Hunter does save it and continues to run the right way. But that's exactly what I was just talking about here for Mitch Crowther. We have seen Mitch slice, dice, work his way up through the pack, just to be calm and cool and methodical. Kind of just like his... I don't think his paint job is cool, calm, and methodical. I think it's badass, to say the right words for it there out of Mitch Crowther. But also talking about a little bit more of his race pace and race strategy. Crowther up to P6, back to where he started the race. If you focus on the left side of your screen right now, instead of the interval on the left, we're going to show the gains since the drop of the green flag. And Joe Rainey, after just being out here just a couple of months ago, who would have seen that one coming? Joe Rainey, as well as Lewis Holloway, 9th, 10th. Right now tied within the biggest positions gained. Well, there you see Joe Rainey makes his way down into turn 1. But actually, George Lawrence takes it away from Lewis Holloway. He's trying to start to look side by side into turn 1. Lewis Holloway out of Camber and Castor. As you see up at the top right side of your screen as well. Lewis Holloway now back up to 9 positions gained, up to P10 on the racetrack. Next closest battle up and in front of this one, it's Zach Severe and Jacob Luthlin Lim still continuing to try and close that back up to and into Nathaniel Redmond. If you are just now joining us, Nathaniel Redmond started P3, still continues to run P3, but last lap by here, ladies and gentlemen, Redmond put down the fastest lap of the race at a 1:43.76. So we do have kind of a 3 to 4 car breakaway for that second pack on back, as we now, well that's not going to help him at all. Side drafting it out there between Zach Severe as well as Jacob Luthlin Lim. Jacob, is he clear? Just barely. Zach Severe is going to give him the inside line, and then Zach's going to work his way down into the inside. Mitch Crowther says, not so fast, my friend. Newer sponsor out here, newer member to Stamp Studio. Mitch Crowther, who we're on board with now, he's got his virtual popcorn coming out, but not his real popcorn coming out. Mitch is also kind of beat on the same as Zach Severe. Jacob up there batting for him up in front. Josh Hunter breathing down the neck. That's more than the neck. That is an onboard camera shot into the inside of the front wheels of Josh Hunter. He gets off the rear end just a little bit, but has to do it as we now make our way down into turn 1. It's still single file racing except for their Mitch Crowther and Josh Hunter. Now Josh Hunter works his way down around the outside, almost loses the rear end of his number 81. He'll keep it back and roll it back in the right way. That could have been race ending for Josh Hunter. He continues 2 immaculate saves in just the same lap. Here's that battle that we just looked at in a few corners ago. Lewis Holloway, George Lawrence. It's George Lawrence's first time ever racing within West Coast Sim Racing. He's continuing to go at it between Lewis Holloway. It's right now Ali Akse as well as Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee, remember we saw him go off of the international horseshoe on our opening lap. Dylan Lee backing up into that 13th position. I don't think that there was any trading page out there, but it's definitely getting close. It's getting close to trading final lap, between George Lawrence and Lewis Holloway. Looks like George Lawrence will clear that battle up into P10 and P11. Works his way up to P10. 6 spots gained since the drop. Back up here, battle for the race lead as we cut on board with it. Brendan Myers completely misses the second half of the Le Mans chicane. That's why you see that top left icon, the yellow flag up there for Brendan Myers. Just as we saw in the opening lap of the race, Myers has to give it back. Here comes Edwin Onofre, and here comes Nathaniel Redmond, one of the fastest drivers in practice and in qualifying. Redmond up to P2 in his wheel blend, hot pink, vibrant blue Porsche Cup car. Now here comes turn 1. Who's deeper onto the brakes? Who's able to keep the momentum rolling? Right now it's Edwin up into the P1. The 199 T-Rex Porsche. The Rexy machine now has a 0.2 of a second gap over Nathaniel Redmond. This battle here isn't done here just yet. Not only between Edwin and Nathaniel Redmond, but I think I just saw that rear end of the number 8 cars being dropped on Andreas Rivera's. I think that's within lapping distance up here. Wow, here goes Edwin way wide. That opens up the door for Nathaniel Redmond. Nathaniel, the house is a rockin'. Don't bother knocking. Just come on in, says Edwin Onofre there. Not close enough to make it happen. Not close enough to pin that throttle pedal. Down, down, down. Brendan Myers, after losing the race lead, drops back to P3. Don't count him out here just yet. It still continues to show fastest driver of the race. Really quick out here, up and onto NASCAR Benz. This is working up and onto the NASCAR portion of the racetrack. Warren Johnson, hang on to her there. Tries to carry the speed, tries to carry that momentum. The rear end, we're going to talk about this, I guess the other broadcast wheel, quite a few times this season between all of these Porsche Cup cars. The rear end is so loose, even within these TC and the ABS kind of options that we do have available. Not only within TC and ABS, but we do have open setups as well. So these drivers able, that's something within newer West Coast Sim Racing, kind of able to tinker in, what would be the next word? I don't know, tinker with each and every setup, get them exactly where they want to be. I'm talking stiffness, I'm talking springs, I'm talking dampness, gear ratios, you name it, that all can be adjusted. Back out here to the race lead, Edwin, Brennan going at it. Brennan tries to make that outside line, esports line work, not able to make it happen. Edwin Onofre still up there, up into the P1. Now Brendan Myers and Nathaniel Redmond, P2 and P3 up for grabs. As I mentioned out there before, here comes that lap traffic of Andreas Rafeta. Look at the ethical wheel out there. Andreas Rafeta gets out of the way, gives the point by up there for this 3-car breakaway going into the Western Horseshoe and then back into the infield exit and then onto NASCAR Oval 1 and 2. Here's that next back on back, led by Jacob Luthland, Zach Severe, P2 in the pack, Mitch Crowther, as well as Josh Hunter. Checking in on YouTube, man, we got Brendan Myers, we got Archbishop Quill, Moonlight Dancing, the Remodeller's Life. I believe that's Dane Perkins. Welcome in out here in YouTube land. Appreciate you all joining in. Brian Reyes, that was so fun out there at NASCAR at COTA over the weekend. I actually got to see you. That was not even planned. We got some pictures. We got to hang out as well. Gave him some free SSN merch. Brian Reyes has some friendly connection out there with George Lawrence. And George Lawrence and his Red Bull, The blue edition, that's exactly what it is. One of my favorite flavors. George Lawrence up there running in now P10 after he's got a nice battle out there between Dylan Lee and Ali Akse. Andrew running in between 11th and 12th. Oh, no. George Lawrence will get the Sean Tater curse right as we cut off of him there. Spins out of the Le Mans chicane. That allows Lewis Holloway, Colton Morris, Dylan Lee, and Ali Akse to make their way through it. Sean Tater curse. We're not even we're about 4 minutes to go to the competition yellow. On board here with George. Oh my God, he's gonna get his pilot slices up there. Right side tires up and into the air. Watch this camera shot here. Maybe watch this one instead. Whoa, 4 tires up into the air. Mitch Crowther now, no, after battles for the lead. This is back on live camera shots. Braden Myers, Nathaniel Redmond, Aaron Onofre, 1, 2, 3. Who's missing out there from 4, 5, and 6? He'll drop to 8th. Mitch Crowther, here's his incident as we were looking at a replay of that battle there. Mitch had no. Oh, man, he'll slide through the braking marker out there as well. Thankfully, it's not going to warrant too much, if any, damage out there. There's, unfortunately, we'll take one more look at this race replay. Kind of get the stamps doing the drone. Nice move to the inside line out there for Mitch, but just barely not clear. And I don't think I put that one on him or the 714 of Zach Severe. I mean, it's just tight battles as we continue to press our way closer and closer towards that competition caution. In just about 3 minutes from now, Brendan Myers, Nathaniel Redmond, Edwin, 1, 2, 3. Don't count out 4th, 5th, and 6th because Jacob Luthenlam as well, Luthlard Lim, Zach Severe, Josh Hunter still continue on 4th, 5th, and 6th there. 17:38 down, 2.5 minutes to go till the competition yellow. Brendan Myers inside. Here comes Nathaniel Redmond outside. Nathaniel deeper on the brakes, but the longer way around the racetrack allows Brendan Myers to slot that throttle pedal right back it on down. Clears Nathaniel Redmond back to the race lead. 0.3 of a second now separate 1 and 2. 0.4 of a second separate 2 and 3. Got Jacob, Josh, Zach, 4th, 5th, and 6th. 1,000th of a second now between Josh Hunter, Zach Severe. That is through turns 1 and 2. That's the international horseshoe. They're making their way up through the kink now and in towards the western horseshoe. Josh Hunter still with a nice start to the race, up and in that top 6 position after starting 4th. Can't forget about those battles back and in the pack there respectfully as well. And I'm not even talking back in the pack, but relatively a little bit closer towards the front mid of the pack. Derek Johnson, he's 4 spots gained since the drop of the green. Joe Rainey out there about 2.5 seconds back and behind him. Joe Rainey, normally we see Joe Rainey and his Rainey Holmes racing machine a little bit more, Como said he say, what do you call it? Lightweight, light horsepower cars, but as we have seen from real life racing, Joe Rainey not afraid to step it up here within some horsepower as well as some weight. Joe up there into P9 after having an immaculate start to the race in that Rainey Holmes racing machine. Mitch Crowther and Derek Johnson, they were just running side by side with the Le Mans chicane. Mitch Crowther was able to make that pass happen. He works his way back it up to P7, not quite from where he started this race, but as you can see up in the top right side of your screen, the Mittens liveries 073 of Mitch Crowther. Make sure you hit him up out there within iRacing and Discord. One of the best to do it within sim racing paint jobs going at it. Unfortunately there though for Mitch, did he start with enough fuel in that 073 Porsche Cup car, or just coming in to get some front? The damage doesn't look too bad. We'll have to follow back up there on that 073. Back out here to the race lead. It's a 3-car breakaway. Brendan Myers, Nathaniel Redmond, still Edwin Onofre going at it. 0.3 of a second. We should make our way under competition caution. This flag by as Brendan Myers, Nathaniel Redmond, and Edwin Onofre make their way out of the infield section for the final time before the competition caution flag is thrown. Here comes turn 6, backing up and into NASCAR turn 1. Who has a little bit of late race dive going into the Le Mans chicane? This could make or break the whole rest of your race because we're going to get them re-racked and restacked. But remember, it's really who has that race restarts here who's going to get, I think the jump of the gun, the shot out of a cannon. Here we go, final time, Le Mans chicane for 4 competition caution. Brennan, nice corner entrance, but he gets a little bit of tight out there at the mid-corner and corner exit. That allows Nathaniel Redmond to have a run and a half. 1/10 of a second separate the two. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, crystal ball, we're looking into the future of what will be the final lap out here in just a few moments' time. Nathaniel Redmond, does he make a move before that competition caution flag is thrown? He's running out of time. Here comes Brendan Myers to the stripe. They're going to give it to Brendan Myers. They're going to slow it for him all back down right there. Nathaniel Redmond and Edwin Onifrey, 1, 2, 3. Jacob Lefflard Lim, he'll take away P4 at the stripe. Josh Hunter, Zach Severe, Derek Johnson, Joe Rainey, Ali Aksai, Andrew, and Dylan Lee rounding out the top 2. Ooh, boy. Okay. I can finally now take a little bit of a breather, and I hope you all can as well, because that was a pretty fun start to the race, and that's just going to show what this second half is all going to be. Brendan Myers, Nathaniel Redmond, Edwin Onifrey, 1, 2, 3. Jacob Lefflard Lim, P4. Josh Hunter, P5. Zach Severe, P6. Derek Johnson, P7. Joe Rainey in our opening stage, 8th, which was our biggest mover gains. Ali Aksay, P9. Dylan Lee, P10. Lewis Holloway, P11. Colton Norris, P12. Igor Retzkov, P13. It'll be Warren Johnson, our league owner, P14, after a little bit of a slip and slide, but facing back in the right way, continuing to put down some nice positions for Warren. Up 3 spots gains as the traffic green. He's P14. Sergio Orestes. Sergio, we appreciate you posting the broadcast link out there to your Instagram page earlier on today. We also appreciate Canberra and Castor being one of our sponsors and affiliates out here out of West Coast Sim Racing. All the sponsors and affiliates up there that we continue to see cycle their way through. Top right of your screen, I'm talking Khan Coaching as well. Make sure you hit up Zane out of Zane Khan Coaching. Definitely one of the best to do it to find you just a little bit more time. As I've mentioned here quite a bit tonight, we of course still have the Mitch Crowther Liveries. One of our newer race sponsors and affiliates and Stam Studio Network members. Mitch, I'm not sure if you're listening out here live on Stam Studio Network, but if you are, I'm more than happy to send you some new merch. We got some new Stam Studio Network, some new Stam Studio Network hats, as well as shirts. More than happy to send send a care package your way to show my appreciation for you. Appreciate me, I guess. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. Cat and mouse, if you will. We've seen some back and forth, cat and mouse, if you will, here tonight. Right now, though, we do have them slowed and woed all down. We're going to get the field repacked, restacked, and ready to go. We're going to take a quick word from one of our sponsors and affiliates. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to we'll get back to racing action here after this next pace lap on by. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Stam live here on Stam Studio Network. Don't go anywhere. Get yourself a snack and a drink and a little bit of a, I don't know, just join us right back here. Thanks, everybody.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to live coverage of West Coast Sim Racing's Porsche Cup as we continue Season 3's opening race here at the famous Daytona International Speedway Road Course. While we were away, the field has continued to settle down and into their competition caution, breaking up this 45-minute sprint race. These Porsche 911 GT3 992 Cup cars, a little bit of a mouthful, but have continued to show some real nice battles out there in between them. We'll go through the field here real quick before we get back into some live racing action. Brennan Myers, and that's Mario, one of my favorite helmets out there that I've ever seen. Brennan Myers, one of my teammates out there between STAM Studio Network Endurance Racing. We ran the Daytona 24 hours together, along with a couple other drivers in the Le Mans Prototype 2 class, LMP2. That was a lot of fun. So Brennan, he obviously has the pace out here for the Daytona International Speedway. But completely different car, new car. I think that these Porsche Cup cars actually do come with TC and ABS this time, so a little bit something new for these drivers to fiddle around with as far as the Porsche Cup car goes. Nathaniel Redmond, P2, he started P3, continues to work his way towards the front end at number 14. Best lap was a 143.76 for Nathaniel Redmond. That would be just 5/10 of a second back by Brennan Myers' fastest lap. And something that I really haven't mentioned here so far just yet, but we're going to talk about slipstream. We're going to talk about draft coming out of turns, NASCAR 1 and 2, as well as obviously 3 and 4. Keep your eye on that draft out here, especially coming within that white and checkered flag to go, as that can completely change the complexity of this race. Aaron Onofre continues running P3 after starting P2. Jacob Leclerc then P4. And the number 127 Falkland tires, teal and blue. Josh Hunter, we saw him have a pretty crazy start to the race. He's not saved it once, didn't quite save it twice, but saved it thrice. Josh Hunter, he should restart P5. Zach Severe on the single file restart. Zach should restart here P6. Joe Rainey restarting P7. 11 spots gained. Ali Aksay and Drew P8. Ali Aksay and AI, as well as, oh God, was it Colton Juarez, I think it was? I forget, but on Monday night, it was 3 wide across the line between myself and Ali Aksay. I think it was Colton Juarez. If that's some foreshadowing out here between the rest of the Toyota GR86 season, make sure you stick around and join us up there for that as well. Right now, the field should be in Brennan Myers' hands as that racing safety pace car down and into the safety of pit lane. Start is on the green flag at the World Center of Racing. Second half of this race is back under green. Brennan Myers, he leads him down there in turn 1, but here comes Edwin. Backing around the outside is Edwin. Oh, he's going for a spin. It's the 199. Here goes the whole pack down and around him. I think he has taken Nathaniel Redmond with him. Contact in between the two. Not sure whose fault it was. We'll take a quick race replay out here as we are now moving and grooving back in our way and up into the start of this second half of the race. I believe I just saw Sergio Orestes as well as Joe Rainey going around as well, exiting our first international horseshoe, and then off of the King into turns 45. There's Ali Aksay, nice, continue to start into the race, as well as it might be a top 3 driver interview position out here tonight, but Ali Aksay could it be the first one ever? As Ali Aksay and now Zach Severe start to go at it. Oh, there's a spinning Jacob up there in front as well. Now Ali Aksay as well as Josh Hunter backing up into second, third position. What a whole second starting half of this race. Battle still continuing to heat up and ensue. Front 2, 1-2. Brennan Myers, Josh Hunter, 7/10 of a second. Here comes Ali Aksay leading the second pack down and around the Le Mans chicane. Lewis Holloway looks to the outside, not going to make anything happen. Actually runs there just a little bit wide, allows Mitch Crowther to make some sort of a move on quarter exit. Not close enough, so here comes 3 wide on the Le Mans chicane. They'll settle it back down to 2. Mitch Crowther, George Lawrence, there's Zach Severe in that white and hot pink Iron Danes Porsche Cup car. He's not going to opt to help Mitch Crowther, but right now he's actually going to opt to help George Lawrence. George, after starting in one of our last race positions, up here and into P5. What an opening race it is for the number 20 Porsche Cup car. Maybe gets a point by there. As almost too deep into the corner. Mitch Crowther getting there goes. an LMP5. Aliaxe, I saw, also ran way wide into turn number 1. So where did all of this action start to ensue? Well, that's already still a little bit too late. I think it started up there between Edwin and Nathaniel Redmond. Battles for second place. But there was definitely no contact, but synchronized, not swimming, but synchronized spinning. Edwin on a free, as well as there you see Nathaniel Redmond up in the top left of your screen. He goes for a slip and slide as well. He gets it going, and then the next spin to happen, it's going to be Sergio. At least going off the track in his camera and caster Porsche car, trying to miss the spinning Joe Rainey. As there you see Joe gone around. I believe that was contact for Joe Rainey as well. I'm going to have to stand corrected on it. What is going on this race restart? Is it the cooler tire temps? Is it nighttime temps out here from the Daytona International Speedway that are sending these drivers out and around begging for some grip? Back out here within these last 14 minutes left to go. Battle for the race lead, Josh Hunter, Brennan Myers. We'll take a look at the last lap history here between the two. Brennan Myers, and really, all you can really look is at 14 and 15 as we've only been 2 laps from the green flag division on this race restart. But look at lap 15, continuing to close in on that race lead is Josh Hunter. Now you see Aliaxe and Andrew have a slowdown penalty of themselves. They'll have to give that one back. We'll have to hop on board and see what happens with Aliaxe. But hopping on board back into this battle for the race lead is Josh Hunter. He is there, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Hunter's there for the battle for the race lead, as well as they have a 5.7 gap back into Mitch Crowther, who runs in that final driver interview position. Still on board up here with Josh Hunter. A slight lift as they make their way through the lead. Moves deeper on the brakes, but he's able to roll that corner apex momentum up there. Looks like continuing to be in favor of the number 81 Josh Hunter. Now that's that gap down to 0.3 of a second. Not going to be a pass happen up there because they're a little bit too far away there from one another. But as we take a look and into turn 1, this is the incident that we missed as we were on board with another battle. Aliaxe starts to run wide. I think that's already after the slowdown there. Apologies. So it looks like Aliaxe had that slowdown penalty. Here's going to be a great camera shot of it. The vibrant yellow Porsche Cup car, just too much. That front hinge grip is not going to grip out there for him, as well as we saw Lewis Holloway in his camber and caster Porsche Cup car. Oh, he went for a spin as well, right as we cut the cameras from it. Back and into the battle for the race lead. 33 minutes down, coming to 12 minutes to go. Josh Hunter stalking, creeping all over the rear bumper. Starts to maybe go for a pass under that double yellow line, but thinks better of it, as that should have been a slowdown penalty if he did make the pass happen. Back up and into P2, Josh Hunter. Still not close enough to make that pass happen, as Mitch Crowther, Zach Severe, and Aliaxe still battle it out there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Final driver interview spot up for grabs. I mean, the race lead up for grabs as well. What do you watch right now? Battles all over this racetrack. Definitely within the same camera shot as well. There goes the leaders. Here comes Mitch Crowther. Zach Severe still sits 0.3 of a second back. Looks like Zach Severe was able to make that pass happen over Aliaxe after Aliaxe had ran wide through the Le Mans chicane. Here comes Mitch Crowther out of Skid Martin Racing. Make sure you join us this, Sunday night, 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're gonna kick off the start to the LMP3 race season. That is not going to be missed there, but you know what? No. There's Aliaxe, who goes around for the second time within 2 laps. He's gonna hold the brakes, and that's exactly what you have to do in this position. It almost sounds counterintuitive, but you just want to be as close as predictable as you can with the rest of the field as they make their way through after the start. Right across the race line. So at the World Center of Racing, there is still battles up, down, and around the racetrack. Contact. We're going to do even more than a little bit of trade vinyl. We're going to trade some composite body going into turn one. Brendan Myers doing as much, playing as much defense as he possibly can, and real quick backing into that third and fourth battle. Here they go into turn one as well. Here comes Mitch Crowther. Zach Severe breathing all down and around his rear bumper, but not able to make it happen into turns 2 and 3. Brendan Myers still continuing to lead Josh Hunter, not miss anything out there for that battle for race lead. Now there's 5 minutes left to go. Mitch Crowther, Zach Severe. Let's hop on board Zach Severe. Listen in and watch these hands go. Right there, but Zach Severe, one of the smoothest to do it as far as throttle application, brake application, and steering inputs go. And that's exactly why I think we see Zach Severe up, showing 5 spots gains to the drop of the green flag. Let's hear it for him down in YouTube land, continuing to run just outside of that final driver interview position. Back on board with Zach Severe going into the launch lead. Let's look at the brake difference here between Mitch Crowther and Zach Severe. Zach's a little bit deeper. You have to catch that thing. Make sure that rear end coming in, not down around. Zach, nice way, able to fight that Porsche Cup car. He continues to fight it lap after lap after lap. Coming to 9 minutes to go this time on the clock. Crowther still trying to do everything that he can to hold off that battle for the final driver interview position. But there's only so much that you can do, as here comes the speed, here comes the pace, here comes the... What do you call it? That's right. It's the shake and bake from the World Center of Racing. Zach Severe goes way up the racetrack into turn 1. He might get a off track. No, he doesn't get a slow down and off track penalty. Only right side tires up and off of the race line there. Nice pass up for Zach Severe, at least to continue to hold off. Excuse me, nice move out there for Mitch Crowther to continue to hold off the hard charging Zach Severe. Battle. We're going to join in out here between 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Sergio Orestes, Joe Brady, Andreas Profana, and George Lawrence. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Andreas Profana, not only is he running in that Stam Studio Network, very vibrant number 95 Rusty's Porsche Cup car. Andreas, we appreciate you coming back here, allowing me painting your cars out here within the iRacing Simulation Motorsports, but as well as, ladies and gentlemen, remember earlier on in the race, Andreas, I thought he was short up there, running about 13:14, I thought it was. Profana, the Italian, up to P9. Nice rebound for Andreas. If he's able to keep this thing through the competition from the back as we continue to pass about 7 to 8 minutes of the race, we can't forget about all these battles up here. It's also Ali Axe, kind of the yins and yangs of some road course racing. Kind of opposite of what we saw from Andreas Profana. Ali Axe, we saw him up there battling between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Fell back and into this battle between 14th, 15th, and 16th. Although, with all due respect, though, they continue to show the race fans what it's all about there. Ali Axe, no, that's exacting. No. We thought you learned from 3 laps and 4 laps to go. Ali Axe trying to make the inside line work. Once again, going into the corner. There's Colton Juarez on the exit. Now Dylan Lee and Miles Guerrero start to go at it for 14th and 15th. Whoa, careful with that side draft, boys, coming out of forward. 6 minutes left to go in the race. Still 3/10 of a second separating Brendan Myers and Josh Hunter. This time making their way through the, I think that's the International Horseshoe. Then coming up through the kink, and then it's the Western Horseshoe. Brendan Myers, Josh Hunter. Does Josh Hunter have anything left within his virtual as well as physical fuel tank? Or is he left it all out there? Is he burning it to the dry? As well as you also have to remember, yes, this is a 45-minute sprint race. Did have that competition caution around 10 minutes into it. But these tires still, they have been begging for about 2 to 3 laps. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it 2 to 3 laps down, but definitely as laps continue to crest onwards out there through the Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing, we're going to continue to see lap times and tires beg for some grip. Side by side for 2 rows back, Mitch Crowther, Nathaniel Redmond, Zach Samir, and Edwin Onofre. Edwin also nice start to the race earlier for that number 199. Edwin down there shown in P6, but right now still trying to do something up here with that second battle, as here comes the battle for the race lead once again. Stalking about 5 minutes left to go. Josh Hunter around the outside, sets up the switchback, sets up the crossover into turn 1, sets up the inside line, doesn't allow Brennan Myers to find anything there. Josh Hunter to the race lead, back up within that battle for 3, 4, and 5. Zach Severe, Nathaniel Redmond, here comes Mitch Crowther. Mitch, he was running in that final driver interview position. Now Mitch falls back into P6. His suspension's going to go to work on turns 3, turns 2, heading into turns 3. International Horseshoe, side by side, 2 sets of tires, 8 Michelin tires going at it. Still, Zach Severe, fastest lap that we've seen for him last lap by as he continues to fight for his right to party. Zach, P3. This is a special race here for Zach Severe at the World Center of Racing, because although the Daytona International Speedway isn't located outside of an international airport per se, I guess you could call it the DAB, Zach Severe has one of the most, if not my most favorite aviation photography pages out there on Instagram. Make sure you hit up Zach Severe out of the 714 and let him know Stam Studio Network sent you, as my God, it's even more than aviation photos out there. I believe it's, I'll have to get to the internet before this race does it. I think it's just Zach Severe photos. He continues to not only show his love for photography, but as well as his love for the racetrack. Zach, 6 spots now up since that green flag has dropped. Brandon Myers, Josh Hunter, still 1 and 2. There goes Zach Severe, Edwin Onofre, and Mitch Crowther through the Le Mans chicane. We're going to continue to hop on board with this battle up and into turn number 1 for the race lead. Who has what they say can't be done? Who's deeper under the brakes? Brandon Myers is actually deeper into the brakes, but is he able to use that speed, lose the speed, lose the momentum, as here comes Josh Hunter right on back for it. This should warrant our final 2 to 3 laps on the racetrack. 42.5 down with lap times, ranging at the 1 minute 44 second margin. We are coming down to the nitty gritty. It's been back and forth, ladies and gentlemen, back, forth, cat and mouse in West Coast Sim Racing. Brendan Myers, Josh Hunter still going at it for this race lead. 43 minutes down really quick after they make their way out of turn 6, backing up into NASCAR turns 1 and 2. We're going to look at that battle once again for 3rd, 4th, and 5th on back. Looks like there's no run from Josh Hunter. Here's Zach Severe, here's Mitch Crowther, here's Nathaniel Redmond. 4/10 of a second separating those, as well as Edwin Onofre, Sergio Aristez sits about 2.5 seconds back into this whole front battle. Okay, I really apologize for it. It has been so much back and forth that even within the camera shots, we've been cutting back and forth. Well, there was Brendan Myers, Josh Hunter, who has now made their way out of the Le Mans chicane, and here comes that second group. Zach Severe now leading it. Mitch Crowther, Nathaniel Redmond, Edwin Onofre there as well. Now they're making their way into NASCAR turn 3. Joe Rady just now making his way into the corner there. Will we see Barney the Flagman throw the white flag, contact for the race lead? It was too fast for it. There's the final 2 minutes to go. Josh Hunter, Brendan Myers, contact across the stripe. They're going to keep it rolling forward. There's more contact. Josh Hunter gets spin, but so does Brendan Myers. The 2 race leaders go around. Who's able to fire it back up in first? Josh Hunter finds neutral and back into first gear. And then there comes Brendan Myers. Here comes Zach Severe, Nathaniel Redmond, as well as Mitch Crowther. Oh no, there's another wreck coming to the white flag of the race. Nathaniel Redmond goes around off the front end. I think it may have been if not Edwin. Back up here, out up front. There goes Sergio Aristez, and up to P5. Josh Hunter now has a 1 times 3, a 3 seconds gap now over Brendan Myers. Really quick, here's that spin out of turn number 1. Contact for the race lead. Both of our race leaders trying to fight as fast as they can to get their cars pointed back and in the right direction, as this is battling for the race lead at the end of the race. Final lap to go. Brendan Myers, so does Josh Hunter. They get it back pointed in the right direction as now clock time expires on the top left of your screen. Josh Hunter, for the final time tonight, out of the Le Mans chicane, just needs to hit his marks. We can't talk about this third, fourth, and fifth battle enough. This is also for the final time tonight. Looks like Zach Severe has P3 solidified for the time being. Mitch Crowther, whoa, his suspension's going to go to work. He's going to have to take a slowdown penalty. There goes Edwin up to P4. What an opening race of the season out of West Coast Sim Racing's Season 3 Porsche Cup car. Josh Hunter, after tangling with Brendan Myers on the final lap of the race, the burnt orange 81 takes the checkered flag. Daytona International Speedway belongs to Josh Hunter for West Coast Sim Racing's season opening Porsche Cup race. Brendan Myers, he'll come across the stripe P3. Here comes Zach Severe spinning into turn 1. He'll solidify, Brendan Myers P2, Zach Severe P3. There goes Edwin Honorfree. Nice comeback race for the number 199. He'll finish in the number 4th position. Mitch Crowther out of Mittens Livery 073, he'll finish P5. Nathaniel Redmond, he'll finish P6 after spinning on the last lap of the race. Sergio Orestes, Joe Rainey, George Lawrence, and Derek Johnson rounding out the top 10. Stick with us here on Stamp Studio Network, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna chat with those top 3 drivers, as well as take a look at our unofficial official race results. Here's another look at that race replay going into turn number 1 for the race lead on the white flag lap. Hunter, Brendan Myers tries to set up that switchback. Josh Hunter starts to get a little bit loose, and at that point, it's all she wrote. That's really is a nice help of the breakdown, viewing this thing in a little bit slower motion. Josh, he does a little bit more of a 360. He's already pointed back and in the right direction as Brendan Myers has to backs it into the outside wall and then is able to get that thing fired back up and in the right way. All right, ladies and gents, here come our unofficial official race results, and then we'll chat with our top 3 driver interview positions. Congratulations, Josh Hunter conquering the Daytona International Speedway. Brendan Myers, Zach Severe, 1, 2, 3. Aaron Honorfree, Mitch Crowther out of Skidmark Sim Racing, he finishes P5. Nathaniel Redmond, Sergio Orestes, Joe Rainey, George Lawrence. Nice opening race for George. He finishes P9. Derek Johnson, P10. Igor Reitzkov, Andreas Profana, Connor Cunningham, Ali X. Andrew, Warren Johnson. That's the top 15. Miles Guerrero, Dylan Lee, Colton Juarez, Lewis Holloway, and Jacob Lethard Lim finishes P20. Now, before we get to those top 3 driver interview positions, here's a couple of looks at a couple of incidents that we had coming towards our white and checkered flag. Lewis Holloway just tries to carry that throttle pedal down a little bit too early. He goes for a spin into number 93, and then here's Jacob's incident. Remember, Jacob, he was up there running 5th and 6th earlier on in the race. Dropped back into P20 to finish us on out. Is this the incident out here into the Le Mans chicane? No, he's just going to get that thing back and into pit lane. 2 more looks at one last look at a incident that we missed earlier on. I think this is going into the Le Mans chicane. It's the 333 Igor Reitzkov. Whoa, careful out of the brakes. Here goes the left side tires up onto the rumble strips. Right side tires, backing up on into it. That was for Dylan Lee out there going into the Le Mans chicane. Into the bus stop, and the Le Mans chicane, whatever you want to call it out there, it's still as treacherous. Well, maybe not as treacherous as it ever was, but those sausage girders, those 3D rendered mountains of rumble strips, well, they've definitely caught a couple of drivers off guard tonight. Thanks out here for joining on Stam Studio Network. We're going to jump out here and join our top 3 drivers in virtual victory lane. We'll start out there with Josh Hunter, working into Brendan Myers, and then Zach Severe. Hey, Josh Hunter, it's Sean Stam up here in virtual victory lane. You got yourself a copy, man.
Hey, man, what's going on, dude?
Golly, Josh, you're going on right now. Final pass out there on the last lap of the race. You find your way into virtual victory lane. What was going through your mind as you made your way through the spin, as well as you came across the stripe?
I just wanted to survive, and I figured we'd put a show on for the fans and do a final loop-de-loop before the end of the race. So it looked like it worked out.
Couldn't have been better, Josh. It was a great show for the fans. You made the loop-de-loop and pulled, and now you're looking cool down in victory lane. Josh, how about you? What about those track conditions out here tonight? We made our way into sunset. The track temps continue to fall off. Could you feel that underneath the wheel of this new Porsche Cup car?
Kind of, I guess. I'm just not used to this car. I've never really driven it before tonight, and usually I'm not good at Daytona in a GT car, mostly in a prototype where I'm strongest. So it was just a race for survival for me.
Hey, Josh, I'm right there with you. I'm going to need that downforce from the extra downforce from the prototypes out here from Daytona. Congratulations out here from the World Center of Racing. Josh, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank out here for your race win, opening win of the season?
Just you and Warren, as always, and everyone that joins this league makes it a good, clean racing experience.
Josh, thank you so much, man. That goes a long, long ways and back and behind the scenes. Hopefully I'm battling out there with you side by side throughout the rest of this Thursday night season, as well as Monday night if you're racing with us there. Josh, have a great, great rest of your night. We really appreciate it, man, and we'll let you get to popping that virtual champagne.
Oh yeah, man. See you later.
Appreciate you, man. It'll be Brennan Myers. Brennan, you got yourself a copy?
I do. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Brennan, you finish out here P2 after that spin coming towards you're on the white flag coming towards the checkered. Brandon, I mentioned this in the broadcast. My teammate out there, the Daytona International Speedway during the Daytona 24 Hours in the LMP2 car. Brendan, now you're in the Porsche Cup car, one of the newer cars within the service. What's the biggest difference, obviously, between downforce out here between the LMP2 and this newer Porsche Cup car?
Yeah, mostly just the downforce. The slipstream's not as overpowered as it is in the LMP2, but it's still pretty obnoxious, especially when you keep pulling a couple tenths away in the infield and then just lose it all on the straightaway. But everything else still feels not the same exactly, but relatively similar. Like, you got to watch your traction control on the way out of corners because it's pretty easy to lose the back end on this car still as well.
Appreciate you breaking it down there for us, Brennan. A great talking point out there with the newer TC and ABS with this specific Porsche Cup car. Something else that I saw quite a few drivers really struggling with is, I think, how vacuum sealed this is to the racetrack. Especially going into the bus stop. I saw some drivers lifting 2, if not 3, if not all 4 tires within those mountains of 3D rendered rumble strips.
Oh yeah, the big rear wing in the back definitely glues you down a good bit. Makes you're able to attack the entries a little bit harder than what you expect.
Well, Brennan, B2 out here for you tonight. It was a last lap battle there between you and Josh Hunter. What was going through your minds going into turns 1 and 2?
Definitely just wanted to finish the race. Got a little dicey there. For a second, figured I was going to lose a couple places, but we were able to put on a little show and not lose any places in the meantime doing it. So that's all we could really ask for.
Well said, Brennan. You sound pretty dang good media trained out there for the driver at number 23. In all seriousness, though, there for you. Great start to the opening race of the season. You're rocketing yourself up there in the point standings. Brennan, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out here on this P2 finish?
Just you, Sean, and Warren for putting on the league as well, and all the guys who show up every Tuesday and Thursday night, or Monday and Thursday night, to put on a show for everybody. And I'll just say my cat as well. I got my cat right here again. Meow. There you go.
There it is, Brennan. Man, that was close out there in the last lap. Appreciate the shout-outs there, as well as including the cats. Got close with Josh Hunter. Maybe started to get loose out there before you got to him, but man, just the game of inches out here, opening race of the season. We appreciate your words out there, Brennan. Hopefully they're chatting with you up in top 3 driver interviews next race time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Alrighty, I think we got 2 more driver interviews to go. We're going to start out here with Zach Severe of P3 finishing position out here tonight. Zach, you got yourself a copy.
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Zach, I'm doing all right, man. This is I actually kind of sweating up a bit after one just watching this battles go out there. Zach, you missed the argy-bargy on that whole last lap, but you've continued to show the speed, show the pace, and as I've mentioned so many times before, the consistency. You work your way up into that final driver interview position. Zach, 6 spots to the gain, to the green. How did you get that done here tonight?
I didn't really expect that result, to be honest. So it was pretty exciting. Most of the race was pretty hard fought battling. There were definitely a couple sort of iffy moments on my part. I'm going to check out an incident I had with Mitch early on, but overall it was just a really fun race. Lots of really, really good battles, and it was a good time.
Well, Zach, what are your thoughts on this newer Porsche Cup car making its way into the iRacing simulation universe? You liking it so far?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a fantastic car.
Is there anything that you can really tell the difference between the last Porsche Cup car and this one off the bat, or is it going to take you a few races?
I'm not afraid to hit the brakes in this
There you
car,
go.
so that's always good.
Well, Zach, we appreciate your time and back here behind the scenes, as well as joining us in the top 3 driver interview position. Fourth positions, the most amount of positions gained out here for the World Center of Racing. Before we let you go, Zach, who are you shouting out tonight?
I'll shout you out this time, Sean. I appreciate all these broadcasts that you do for us.
Man, Zach, you're going to make me tear up, man. Thank you so much. I'm smiling ear to ear. Zach, I think you finished, you finished top 3. I think you get the driver profile picture of the race there as well. Thank you so much, Zach. I can't wait to battle with you side by side throughout the rest of the West Coast Sim Racing Season 3
Thank
season.
you. Have a good night.
Hey, you too, Zach. I appreciate it, man. All right, that's going to do it. No, I'm just kidding. That's not going to do it for us just yet. So I think we got one more special driver interview. It's the one. It's the only. It's our league owner, Mr. Warren Johnson. You got Shuffle Coffee, man.
Yes, sir. How we doing, Sean?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. A great first car track combo for you to choose on our season opening race, Warren. How was your race tonight, that number 24?
Dude, this car is much harder than I thought from initial testing, but I think it's extremely fun still. Really good car to drive. I'm really excited to get to learn it, especially with all these good drivers that are much better than me. No, dude, that was a great race. I think you got a lot of action up there to talk about. No shortage of battling whatsoever from what I saw. Yeah, it was a great race. Dude, those tires were slick on the start, slick on the restart. I mean, you saw me. I spun out of 8th place, and they're still not quite there. But that's just my inexperience with the car. But man, I'm really excited for this series. Honestly, that was really intense. I feel like that's like the most intense racing we've had in this league, at least from how I felt. So I think we're in for a treat.
Warren, even you say that back and behind the wheel, I think you completely nailed it there, man, because even with the season opening race, West Coast Sim Race, if this is a looking into the future of what, every Monday and Thursday night's going to be, everybody down there in YouTube land better have their snacks and drinks ready, because it was a lot of fun. At some points, I'll be honest, Warren, a little bit too much good battling. We had battles for the race lead, lap after lap after lap, as well as all over the racetrack. So thank you once again for having me out here for the season opening race, and I can't wait to get going side by side with you. There's a lot of fun Monday nights, as it will be these upcoming Thursday nights as well.
You were flying on Monday. I was so surprised. Not to say I thought you were going to be bad, but you were really fast up there, man. So I'm excited to see where you end up. Hey, you might be fighting for a trophy here. And if you saw the cool trophies that we had this season, man, they're awesome for season 4. The championship belts, and people loved those. So I think we might keep doing those, honestly, because I had great feedback there. Dude, you're more than welcome to race with us anytime. You've done a great job broadcasting for us. So we'll be glad to have you back anytime, whether it be racing or broadcasting. So we appreciate you here at West Coast Sim Racing. And I'm going to get back to this race or review with these guys. We're all in the race chat. But I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight, all the new drivers, you, of course, for broadcasting, and all the viewers for watching at home. And you guys make it happen for Sean. Keep supporting Sean. He's a great guy, great commentator. Give him all the love and support you guys can get. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you join the league, too, if you want to join in on some fun racing. And we will see you guys at Bathurst on Monday.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Warren. I know I gotta let you get going, but can't shout out Warren Johnson up here as well, bringing me back for the racing, the season opening race, as well as allowing me to race out there with him as well. Warren, it was a lot of fun to meet you out there at Maricopa. Hopefully we can do it again, and I'll let you get going out here some race reviews. I probably know you got quite a few your way, but thank you all so much, as well as you, Warren, for having me back for another one out here tonight.
Absolutely, man. Good seeing you again, and we'll see you on Monday.
Sounds good, man. Warren, have a great rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, everybody, that's gonna do it out here tonight. Sean Stam on Stam Studio Network. I'm trying to get these. To be honest, I'm trying to get these fireworks showing out here at least one more time. They should be out there top left of your screen if it does work. If not, I got the fake fireworks. That'll work A-OK as well. Congratulations once again, race winner Josh Hunter gets it done. This Porsche Cup car. Pretty tough car to drive, but made the slipstream, made the draft, made the last lap pass happen for the win. Everybody, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for joining in on YouTube land. We got Moonlight Dancer still continuing to hang out with us. So is Archbishop Quill, the Rebonders, Life Dylan Bass, Terry and Ted. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Until next time, which would be Saturday, midday International Racing Pro-Am Series at Brands Hatch GT3 Racing. If you haven't got enough of me here just yet, make sure you stick around Saturday evening. Thank you all so much. I'll go ahead and catch you next time. Sean Stam, producing, directing, commentating the show. Thank you all, everybody.